Hey guys, how you doing? Luna here with a new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm a little bit nervous because we're talking about one of the most popular and respected artists of the 2010s and 2020s. We're talking about Billie Eilish, more specifically about her type of singing. I was doing some research on both of her albums because I wanted to make a video comparing the two. I wanted to make a versus, because there's a lot of people that like new Billie way more than old Billie, and it goes both ways. There's a lot of people that enjoyed her old material and a little bit darker material way more than the new thing, whereas she kind of let herself off and tried multiple genres of music like bossa nova, house music. Some people don't really like that change, including myself. So I was doing some research and I was actually scrolling through Twitter, and there's a lot of people that seem to argue that Billie Eilish doesn't really know how to sing and is not really a good singer or performer. It's just that her voice is really good. She has a really pretty and aesthetic voice rather than actually having some sort of talent to sing. And me personally, I don't agree with it, but I can definitely tell where it comes from because Billie's style of performing hasn't really changed at all since the first EP, Don't Smile at Me. We've had this we had the same type of performance. It's just that her voice used to be a little bit more high pitched, but that's it. That's the only different thing about her performance right now. And honestly, it only makes every new release way worse than the last one because, for example, now I can't fucking listen to that promotional song for Barbie, What Was I Made For. I just think I've heard this song thousands of times before from Billie, so what's the point of a new one? Like, I think she really needs to change her style and the way she performs to a little bit with more energy and power behind the vocals. I think that this old breathy thin performances were really good for the type of themes she was developing on albums like When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Even in that album, in songs like Therefore I Am, I would have appreciated a little bit more energetic performance. But I think this is more about Billie's creativity rather than her skill as a singer, because if anyone that's watching this video right now has actually tried to sing in such a low volume, the amount of air control, breath control that you need to have at the time of performing in such a low volume. Like, it takes a lot of skill. She manages to pull some really solid vibratos at a really low volume. But even though I can agree that this takes a lot of skill, it doesn't really mean that that's the only thing you should do. Billie often tries to, bring a little bit more volume onto the notes, and more power and passion, like Happier Than Ever, for example, Billie Bossa Nova in the chorus of the track. But honestly, it sounds awful. It sounds really bad. Like, every time she tries something new when it comes to the songwriting of a track to make it a little bit more powerful, it's a piece of shit. And again, songs like Happier Than Ever prove this. I know that this is one of her most famous songs and one of the most popular, but I just think it sounds so bad when she raises her voice and tries to sing in an angry way. It's pathetic. You don't feel the energy that she tries to make you feel. Like, it doesn't work. It's a bad performance. It's almost as if she's scared to sing with volume. Maybe she doesn't really like her voice when she raises it a little bit too much. I don't really know why, because I know if it sounds so beautiful when it's so quiet, then why is it that it would sound worse with a little bit of volume? I don't really get that part, but apparently that's how she feels, because we've never really seen Billie singing with power, a more soulful performance. In her first two releases, Don't Smile at Me and When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? That wasn't that big of an issue because the songwriting, fit that sort of performance. It was perfectly fine. Sometimes when the instrumental wasn't that deep or it wasn't really that dense, you could feel a little bit bored by this sort of performance, especially in tracks like Sandy, that the detail on Billie's voice is almost disturbing. It's too detailed. I don't like it. You can tell every single breath that comes out of her mouth, and it's just so, it feels like an ASMR, and even ASMR albums, ambient album, that are supposed to be really detailed when it comes to every single sound in the production, like in Windswept Aiden by Ichiko Aoba. Even those records don't really sound as detailed as Billie's voice in some of the tracks in that album. In the second album, it's way more evident that this is a problem because the production on that record is way more minimalistic and a little bit all over the place. You know, the production on the first, Billie's debut album was amazing, and it actually complemented her style of singing. On the second one, they were trying to to evolve when it comes to the instrumentation. They were trying bossa nova, they were trying house music, they were trying acoustic ballads, for example, and it didn't really play in their favor, because in order for you to feel these tracks with the vocals, you need to do something more than just breathe your way out of a song, and that's pretty much what Billie does. In some tracks, it works perfectly. Like, for example, Getting Older, it's pretty much fine. Goldwing it's really beautiful, and tracks like My Future, again, beautiful. But in every other track on that album, you can definitely feel a lot of, a lack of chemistry between Billie, Billie's voice and the instrumental. Like, it's not really there, especially in tracks like Oxytocin, Overheated, Happier Than Ever. Also, I think that Billie often abuses the fact that her voice is so beautiful, and instead of actually singing a melody, begins to talk. Again, in songs like Sanny or Bury a Friend, for example. In Bury a Friend, it's not that bad because the production and the instrumentation is way more dense, and you have echo on Billie's vocals, you have a harmony on Billie's vocals, so you can't really tell that much. But after a few listens, you kind of feel like she's not really singing anymore, she's just talking. Again, I don't want to say that she's not talented. She's a really talented woman. I think that it takes a lot of skill, as I said before, to sing with so much detail at a really low volume. Like, you don't know how hard that is. Everyone that has actually tried to sing seriously knows how difficult it is to have that much detail and be able to pull a really solid vibrato at such a low volume. With this, I'm not really saying that she's one of the greatest ever. No, like, I don't think so at all. For me, people like Bjork, Joni Mitchell, Janis Joplin, Ella Fitzgerald are the greatest female vocalists ever. But is comparing a good way to determine whether or not she's overrated? I don't really think so. If you ask me, I don't really think that she's overrated as a singer. I think she's overrated as a songwriter. And the reason why I say this is because I feel like she stays in her comfort zone and has stayed in her comfort zone for the past 3 albums. I don't think she really knows how to get out of it. And the times that she has tried, she doesn't really do a good job. So for me, if I were asked, is Billie Eilish a good singer? Yes, she definitely is a great singer, and she's really talented. But is she a great songwriter? I don't really think so, honestly. I think that she's got a long way to go. It's true that we only have 2 actual studio albums, so she may prove me wrong. I hope she does, because I'm really excited to see what she has next after Happier Than Ever being a total disappointment for me. I believe that she may have something way more powerful and with a lot more volume to offer sometime in the future. I think we're all hoping that she does, because when she does a good job, the result is an amazing piece of music always. So yeah, I would say that she's not overrated as a singer. She's definitely overrated as a songwriter. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos that I upload. Please do remember that this is only my personal opinion, so if you have your own, go ahead and leave it down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to check it out, and we'll have a small talk in the comments section. I want to know what you think about Billie and her style of performing. Do you like it? Do you think she needs to change it up a little bit? With that being said, once again, I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that I can see you guys soon with a new video. But until then, bye.